Hi, everybody. So I'm going to do the question video today, but I want to show you guys something. So a friend of mine and an audience member sent me a little painting. She sent me more than one actually of these little blue paintings, and they're beautiful and very like sweet. And she does them on Etsy. So I wanted to show you guys. She's also doing these light language cards, and I'm going to put her Etsy below so that you can have a look at it. If you're really interested in learning light language, it's like a bridge, I feel like, to telepathy. And also, we all have our own, and that'll help you cultivate that maybe. But I have been talking to her about sharing those for a while and forgetting. So there they are. And I think that's it. Everything's going great. The website's going great. I'm getting ready for Be Your Own Nasara 3 and Abby and I's thing about finding the divine within. That's coming too. So it's like we're covering the abundance and the body this month, which is really awesome. And I have some new downloads that have come in. So that's exciting. But anyway, so I'm in a great mood and I hope you guys are doing really good. And let's get into the questions. So this is from Michelle, and she says, quick question. A couple of weeks ago, I heard my name, Michelle, in a male voice while sleeping. It was so firm and clear. She woke up and she had a difficult time returning to sleep. Can you tell me who this voice belonged to? Was it her higher self? And then she made sure that I knew she was a female. So it was not her higher self. It was somebody that she was working with in the astral plane, somebody she knows very well. So that being was talking to her higher self, and her higher self almost slammed back into her body, like came in pretty quick, which also contributed to her waking up. So right now, this is a great question because it brings up a subject line. Right now, we are starting to be aware of some of the things that we're doing in the astral plane. So I would really start writing down your dreams and even your weird impressions that you may get at night, like even in the middle of the night. I mean, if you're sleeping next to someone, maybe just scribble it out on a page. You know how you can write even though you can't see it? I would scribble it out and just get it out of your system so that you know that you're going to have it in the morning, because we are doing some pretty amazing things in the astral plane right now. Okay, so this is from Yale, and they're asking about their son, and used to be really awesome and sweet, but hard to relate to now. So he's been hard to relate to, and it doesn't feel like there's any love there. But Yale has a grandson involved and keeps in touch for that reason and wants to know if he's had a walk-in. So he's high up in a certain industry, and there's maybe been little mind messing with going on there. There's not a walk-in at this point. The soul is just outside. So he's kind of operating just as a human right now. And he's pretty cranky. It feels like there's a lot of angst within this human being. And subconsciously, he knows that his soul isn't really inside of his body right now. So it's kind of a weird situation. it's highly likely that he will. So highly likely that he will get a walk-in. And actually, that might be better for you guys. So I'm going to hope that that is the case for you. He needs to let go of a lot of stuff in that body. Like there's a lot of stuff that he's seen that he doesn't want to know about. I feel like he feels stuck in that industry. Yeah, it's quite weird, actually. So I would just stay in touch, but in a kind of a neutral way, because I feel like that could change quite soon. Yeah. Okay, we'll go to the. Okay, so this next question is from Kendra, and we are going to be doing a water show. We actually filmed it today, so it will show up next week. And I did that with Anya, and it was great. So she wants to know about the AquaTrue water filter. And I used to have one of those, and I actually thought it was great. So I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it. I would probably create some kind of vortex thing with your water after you've, ran it through there, because you're doing minerals. So let me see, there's something I want to show you. So just to get some good energy going in the water, to get it like moving or whatever energetically, I would put one of these around your glass. So before you drink it, let it sit in this ring for a little while. And this is copper, and it's called a tensor ring. So vortex water is really good for you. And it's kind of like, think about a mountain stream, and it's just going down and hitting all the rocks, and the molecules aren't so clumped together. It's really helpful if they're not clumped. So I would get one of these. They're about 20 bucks on Etsy, and just put your water glass in that before you drink. So hopefully that helps. Okay, so this is from Edie, and she's basically talking about Tartarian history. So I've done a ton of that. There's like maybe 400 videos on the channel. So deeper in there, more at the beginning, lots of Tartarian stuff. And I am going to continue that for the other channel. And I'll put that below. There was a lot of stuff that was destroyed. And everybody's really interested in crystals right now. So I just want to show you guys a crystal that I really was kind of amazed by. So quartz is the universal healer. So if you can afford just to get one crystal, get a quartz crystal, I would say. Unless you're super drawn to something else. But this is a faceted quartz crystal, and it focuses the power of the crystal. And I found that it's really powerful, and I really love all of the little inclusions in there. So anyway, everybody knows I'm obsessed with rocks. So maybe we'll do another crystal show. Okay, so this next one is from Marina, and she says she's aware I'm not a doctor, which I'm not. And she's having tremors. So all illnesses right now. Oh. Okay, sorry. So the pressure cooker had to go off for a long time. Anyway, so she's having tremors, and a lot of this stuff is past life stuff cropping up. So if you have an illness that is like increasing, or an exhaustion that's increasing right now, I would make sure that whatever lifetime that came from, you break those contracts, because your body is saying, I'm done. Do something about it. So you can break contracts for your body and your lineage, like your cellular DNA lineage. or your soul. And that's something I've just learned about, but you can do both of those things. And then you can also you can get rid of programming. So all of this stuff I address in Healing with Honey. And you're getting to learn and also getting to benefit from a lot of energetic healing in there. And it's like $9 a month. So, and we just reorganized it so it's easier to watch. But the whole library is, all the way back to April. There's tons in there. And I also take you into the Akash. So that's where you want to go to deal with this kind of stuff. It is in the nervous system at this point for Marina, but you just need to let go of that lifetime that created it. So think of it as dominoes. Once you get to the root, it fixes all of it from then on. So just, basically you're just have to knock one domino over and all of it goes. So it's really helpful. Okay, so this question is from Angel, and she's asking, who am I? So she's an ancient soul, definitely a starseed. Everyone listening to this is a starseed. So you're a really old soul, and everybody else is too in here. You feel to me like an elemental. So there's a lot of fairy energy. Also, what is that called? The Fae. So there's a lot of Fae energy that I'm getting from you. And it's like you're graduating. So you're about to go even more beyond that. So think of it as, for a long time, you've been creating plant life that is like more 3D. And you're about to create plant life that looks like Avatar plant life that's glowing. So, you're doing elemental things. That's very cool. Okay, so this is from Trisha. And it's a pretty intense experience that she had. So she was in an empty house except for herself and was walking through the living room, and a man's voice said, "You are going to die this year." And she couldn't determine who it was. It feels like a transition voice, like, is it real or is it? So this actually doesn't feel like this was a good voice. Like, this feels like it was created. So this is one of the last ditch efforts from my voice. Like the last ditch efforts from the bad guys. It was like really projected deeply. And it was from one of those 3-letter agencies, actually. And it was in 2022, but it was basically just to freak you out. And what happened to you when you were sick after that, it was a direct correlation. So your body took that in. So your mind didn't necessarily completely believe it, but your body did. So that was, I'm glad you're okay, basically. There is a few things that have happened even recently that have been from the more negatively polarized side, but it's getting less and less and less. But that was an attack. So I'm glad that you're okay. Okay, so Mike is also asking, where do I sign up to clear my Akashic records? So I would just sign up with Healing with Honey. I will eventually do a class on how to do that. But it's going to be kind of an advanced class. But there's a couple of videos in there that just lead you right through it. So I would just do that for now. Okay, so this is from Wendy. And she fell at work and broke her tailbone. And it turns out she was actually pushed. So she felt the push. And she wants to know why it happened. And I get it had to do with karma. So we need to clear our karmic record, which we can now without all this like back and forth drama. But somehow she had a lifetime where the same person, basically, she did something similar to them. It feels like it is clear now, but I would go into the records and clear away any. What you can do is go into the records and clear any negative lifetimes, or I don't really want to call them negative, but maybe you hurt someone in another lifetime. You want to forgive yourself for all of that. So everybody has done that, but we need to forgive all of that because we don't want to carry any of that with us. So that part, though, you finished it. Okay, so the next question is about the flower of life, and it is from Michelle. And I want to show you the inspiration for the picture. So the picture behind me, I painted, but it is definitely not mathematically correct. So it's not correct as far as like it's slightly skewed. I didn't measure everything. So this is the inspiration for it. Can you guys see that? So that is the organic crystal blueprint of creation called the Eternal Life Lotus, and supposedly the correct flower of life. And when I saw it, I was like, that's it. That feels good to me. Because the ones that you see that are always being printed, those don't feel right to me at all. They feel like they're missing so much. So, yeah. Okay. So, this next one, ooh, I can't read that. So, this next one, this lady. Okay, so the last one I just had to just answer. It had to do with a lifetime in a tunnel. So we're just going to avoid that one. So this lady who is a healer and her friend have been getting different energy work done for 20 years. So this is Lori. And her friend's gifts are coming forward, but her gifts are not showing up. And she remembers being persecuted by, and maybe she doesn't remember, maybe she was told, but anyway, she had a lifetime where she was persecuted in the 1200s for being a healer. So she needs to go and break the contracts from that lifetime. And that will bring in the gifts. It may take a little while, but that will free up the energy for that to come forward. And you and Deborah feel like twin souls. So you came in at the same time. And it feels like you guys have been together forever. So she's a great friend. And I think that's wonderful. Okay, so this is from Christine. So she woke suddenly coughing in the middle of the night, and she felt like something slammed into her. That was her soul. really important right now. Our souls are very, very busy in the astral plane, fixing things, creating things, shoring up the, what do you want to call it? The fabric of the universe. Like, we're doing all kinds of stuff when we're asleep, and your soul goes and your soul is just busy, busy. A lot of times it comes back too fast. So talk to your soul and say, you got to slow it down when you come back into the body, because it creates stress on the body. And sometimes, like, that's how the bruises have transferred. Like, if your soul was in some kind of skirmish, bruises will transfer to the body. I had a friend whose soul had to basically stay out of the body for a few days and be healed and then come back in, because that soul knew that it would transfer those injuries to the body. So it is a real partnership, and your soul needs to remember not to be so wild, because the body is much more fragile, really. So yeah, just have a little talk. Okay, so Julie wrote in and says, I used to donate blood whenever I was able to. I've not done so in a few months because I have a feeling that they are selling my untainted O blood, O negative blood. Is this so? Part of the time, yes, when they can get away with it. So, and that was for the American something cross. I won't say the whole thing. Okay, so this is going to be the last one for today. So this is from Debbie, and her question is about her eldest grandson who is visually impaired and wanted to know if his vision will be restored. So I get there's some work to be done there, but it is very possible that he can do that. And it has to do with his own perception. So I would basically let go of any baggage about not wanting to see the world. That's really important. And for your other grandson, it has to do, his outbursts have to do with a past life. And his body really wants him to release this. So he was like a berserker, is what I'm getting, in a past life. And he hasn't forgiven himself for that. So I would just talk to his higher self and see if you can help get that done, letting go of that past life. You never want to break a contract that's in the process of still being learned, but anything that's expired can go now, and his body really wants that done. So it's like the Akashic records right now, you guys, that is the place to go to let go of baggage, because you want to get it at the very beginning, and not just the very beginning of this lifetime, but the very beginning of wherever it started in whatever lifetime, because that way you're just done with it. And sometimes the body needs a release too. So like, maybe you need to go do a dance, you need to eat a certain kind of food, and you can ask your higher self what to do. And I actually have something in there for that now too at honeyseagolden.com. So it's basically called soul guidance, because your soul is your higher self, and your soul is downloading into your body now. So all of this stuff that has accumulated lifetime after lifetime, it's time to start letting it go. And that's going to help all of us ascend. And as souls, we're here to help the human, so humanity, ascend from slavery into sovereignty. and it really is going good. So I just want to let you guys know, like, the astral plane is really getting cleaned up. There is a lot of great stuff happening. So anyway, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.